Today's article is about what a real team is. And I've seen many management teams. Many of them suffer from the same common problems. One of them being a creation of silos around certain managers in an effort to protect what it is that they've built, protect their pride, protect their self-esteem. It's kind of an old school thing, but it still happens today, and it's unfortunate, but you see that. I'm sure you see these things in some organizations you have experience with. And the people who are in those teams sometimes don't help matters by accommodating these silos. So when prideful managers create a resistance to easy and open communication with them, and then they're accommodated by their colleagues, then the business does indeed develop a problem. So the notion of leadership and management direction being one way from top down is kind of dated also, and that's just business school theory that is just as prevalent as the silos and just as obsolete. So what I posit is as a right direction for today is that a covenantal relationship exists between all members in the management team. And this is something that you might not find in a secular organization. You might not even find it in a faith-based organization, but you will find it in a faith-filled organization. And there's no other articles in my blog that you can look up to see the difference between those two. As for right now, what we're going to get into some of the details on helping people in these situations, dealing with organizations that have these silos, and how do we help each other. And so I'd like to lead a scripture that comes from James 2:14 through 17, where James says that, "What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one says to him, 'Go in peace, be warmed and filled,' but yet doesn't give the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have good works, is dead." And I bring that in as my segue to say that you need to help people. Covenantal relationship is about helping people. Those that are in need around us in the management team are going to need support from others. Recall Paul's words to the Galatians. He writes that, "Bear one another's burdens and also fulfill the law of Christ." We also owe our colleagues the very same. When they're in trouble, they have difficulties, we need to share their burden. We need to help carry that load for them, and with them rather, so that our business can succeed. And we can do this by sharing the knowledge and experience that we have and how to work in a better way amongst us who are open. And so sometimes we do this using some pretty interesting tactics. We'll get more into that shortly. And there are ways to get through to people who just simply resist the ability to work with others. When someone needs help and doesn't ask, and that's oftentimes the case, it's usually their pride that prevents them from asking for the help. Sometimes it's as simple as they just don't want to bother anyone. They don't think that anyone would really care. On the other hand, they might care too much and think they're stupid. And so, they don't want that either. So this is where the creativity comes in, where we have to sometimes work under the radar, and we do that by understanding what their difficulty is, and then finding the answer to the problem that they have, and then approaching them in a manner which is non-confrontational. Sometimes it's simply saying, "Hey, I learned how to do something the other day. Thought I'd share it with you." And that something happens to be the same thing you're having a problem with, of course. And of course, then we share the information or whatever it is that we have researched for them, for their benefit. And so we come at this in a non-confrontational mode. We come at this by showing what we have to offer, but not necessarily going right into the point of they needing particular type of help. This way, the barriers of resistance communication don't occur. So how to respond to someone offering help is a segment in the article. And you know, when you're on the other side and you're receiving, you see the information coming at you, you see somebody coming at you with help, and you know, if you're one of those silos go up really quick and force fields go on, the best thing to do is to accept that help graciously. That's the most important thing to do. Be calm, you know, be in peace, and accept what it is that's coming your way. It's going to be for your benefit. Scripture reads in Proverbs 27:17 that iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another. And so, you know, personally, I believe in learning from other people's experience. So if someone's going to approach me with some advice, I'd like to at least hear it. It'll be very helpful. When someone comes along and offers guidance, just be gracious, be open-minded, pause, evaluate what it is they have to say, and weigh and decide what the value is to you, and make your decision and move forward. Realize, however, that sometimes people's best intentions are still in error. However, in the times when I kind of felt that someone was a little off in their advice, and if I kept a scorecard on that, I'd have to say that most of the time I could probably have benefited from that advice, and it was not good to avoid it, but it was actually best to receive it. And more often than not, that's the case. So that's a lesson I've learned, is to be patient, take the information, and see. It might be very helpful. So reading again from Scripture, I'd like to talk about the preparation for the opportunity to give and receive help. And I start out here with 1 John 3:17, which says, "But if anyone has the world's goods and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him?" And all to say, when others need help, you need to be there for them. You don't need to go on a mission to save the world, believe me, rather the world's going to come to you. And so they're going to find you. But in your corner of the world that you see every day, there's bound to be somebody struggling, and sharing their struggles, help them out, see what it is that they need, and be sincere and gracious in helping. Offer, bring an open hand, open mind, and lots of ideas. Remember, however, to accept help yourself. You know, receiving help improves us, and we become better ourselves when we do receive it. So we're morally obligated to pass on the benefit of help that we get. Chances are we'll learn something that is going to help us. We don't necessarily have to share the something, because whatever that is may not be important. But what is important is that the act of helping is key. So while there may not be something that we know that could directly benefit another person, the ability, desire to be there for them, with them, stand by them, and help them through their struggle, even if it means exploration for us as individuals, that's fine. That's what it takes. But we're there, and that's what's important. That's the essence of the article, and I hope you did enjoy it. As always, I appreciate your comments and questions, and please keep those coming. And again, thank you for reading the article and taking the time to listen to this video, and have a blessed day.